1.1 Erika Nordstrom.
Hi, I'm Erika Nordstrom. I'm Swedish. I live in Malmö in the south of Sweden. I'm a product quality manager for IKEA. My boyfriend, Lars, works as a security officer on the Öresund Bridge. We're both keen ice hockey players. We play for a local team, but last month I fell and twisted my ankle, so there's no hockey for me for a while.
1.2 Describing people. 1.
What does she do?
She's a product quality manager for IKEA.
2.
How old is she?
She's in her early 20s.
3.
What's she like?
She's really nice, very easygoing.
4.
What does she look like?
She's quite tall, with long blonde wavy hair.
5.
Who does she look like?
She's the image of her dad.
6.
What colour eyes has she got?
Greenish brown.
7.
How tall is she?
1 metre 73.
8.
What kind of clothes does she wear?
Smart casual and stylish.
9.
What does she like doing?
She plays ice hockey and also goes jogging.
10.
How is she?
She's fine. Her ankle's healing well.
1.3 Describing places. 1.
What's your apartment like?
It's modern and very comfortable.
2.
How big is it?
About 90 square meters.
3.
How many bedrooms are there?
2 doubles and a single.
4.
What size is the kitchen?
4 meters by 2.
5.
Which floor is it on?
The 4th floor.
6.
Which part of town is it in?
It's north of the river.
7.
How far is it to your work?
Just a 5-minute cycle ride.
1.4 Describing things. 1.
What make is it?
It's a MacBook.
2.
What's this button for?
It turns it on.
3.
How long is the battery life?
About 9 hours.
4.
How much does it weigh?
It's really light, 0.9 kilograms.
5.
What size is it?
It's got a 12-inch screen and it's very slim.
6.
How much memory has it got?
16 gigabytes.
7.
How fast is it?
It's much faster than my PC.
8.
Whose is it?
It's mine.
1.5 Question words. 1.
How often do you go to the gym?
2.
What size shoes do you take?
3.
How far is your house from the beach?
4.
What make is your car?
5.
What kind of food do you like?
6.
Which bread would you like for your sandwich?
7.
How many of you want coffee?
8,
What flavour ice cream would you like?
9,
Whose bag is that?
10,
Which way do you go for the city centre?
1.6. My favourite things.
So, Tom, what's on your list? Griff? That's a strange name. Who's Griff? Why is he important to you?
Well, he's my best mate.
Oh.
He was the very first person I met at secondary school when I was 11. I knew nobody and he knew nobody, so we just fell on each other, became best friends and, well, we still are.
Ah. And Griff's his real name?
No. His name's actually David Griffiths, but there were so many Davids in our class. He was always called Griff. He still is. Everyone calls him that.
I see. So now, your favourite city or town, where's that?
That's easy. Definitely New York.
Ah.
My grandparents took me and my brother Jack there for 4 days when I was 14 and Jack was 16. It was the best holiday ever for me. We stayed in a hotel overlooking Central Park.
Ah.
We went ice skating and we flew over the city in a helicopter. We saw everything. It was amazing. I'd love to work in New York.
Yeah, I think New York's a favourite for many people. What about a memorable meal? Where was that?
Actually, that was in New York. We went to Michael Jordan's restaurant in Grand Central Station. Have you heard of it?
What, Grand Central? Of course.
No, not the station. The restaurant, Michael Jordan's. I think it's quite famous.
I don't know it. What kind of restaurant is it?
It's a steakhouse. The steak is just the best. And you sit high up. It's so exciting. You can eat and watch all these New Yorkers rushing to catch their trains.
Sounds great. So, finally, do you have a treasured possession?
I'm not sure I do have a treasured possession. Well, there's my iPhone, of course. I certainly couldn't live without that. But other than that, I suppose it's the ship in a bottle that my great-grandpa gave me just before he died. He said it was very special to him, but I'm not sure why. He was too old to explain it clearly.
Aw, that's a shame. Now, do you want to hear about my favourite things?
Yeah.
1.7. What are you like? 1,
Life just becomes more and more complicated. All this new technology. As soon as I get used to something, it changes. What is the world coming to?
2,
I spent the whole weekend trying to teach my 5-year-old nephew how to ride a bike. Oh, bless him. He fell time and time again, but we kept going and finally he was away.
3,
It's amazing. Richard can never find his wallet when it's his turn to pay.
4,
You go. I don't really want to. I'm not very good in large groups. I never know what to talk about and pubs are so noisy.
5,
He has his future all planned out. He says he'll be a millionaire by the time he's 40.
1.8. What's their story? The Angulo brothers.
The weirdest brothers in the world. Imprisoned for years by their father in a tiny Manhattan apartment in New York, their only contact with the world was watching films. Now, they're in one.
Dressed in dark glasses, white shirts, black suits and black ties, just like the robbers in Quentin Tarantino's thrilling movie Reservoir Dogs, they seem like any group of teenagers trying to look cool. But there is an astonishing reason why the 6 Angulo brothers try so hard to imitate their favourite film stars. For the Angulos, For 14 years, watching films wasn't just an escape from the outside world, it was their world. The 6 boys and their elder sister were imprisoned in an overcrowded, messy flat by an eccentric and tyrannical father who wanted to keep them from the horrors of modern life in New York. Homeschooled by their mother Suzanne, their family was so reclusive that many neighbours didn't even know they were there. Once, we didn't leave the apartment for a whole year, says Govinda. However, the children were not completely cut off from the outside world. Their father had a collection of 5,000 DVDs and videos, and the children watched these films time and time again. Now their story, which is stranger than any film, is told in a documentary film called The Wolf Pack.
1.9 My closest relative. Tess.
I think the person that I'm probably closest to is my sister, Charlotte, or Charlie, as everyone calls her. We're very different. She drives me crazy sometimes, and we have terrible rows, but I know we'll always be there for each other in the end. One thing I love about her is her sunny personality. She's so sociable, not shy like me. She's always cheerful and full of fun. Oh, people love her. They always want to be her friend. Me, I'm just her boring baby sister. But perhaps what I like best about her is the way she's so honest about herself. She says her big problem is that she can't sit still. She says she'd like to be like me and be happy just sitting reading or watching a film, just relaxing, really. I'm good at that.
Simon.
In my family, I think I'm closest to my granddad. My dad, I don't really get on with. We don't really see eye to eye about anything, but fortunately he's away on business most of the time. I think he'd like me better if I was good at sports, football or rugby or something. Any sport, but I'm not. What I like about Grandad is that we have the same interests. We both love wildlife, nature, plants and animals and things. We often go walking together in the countryside, and sometimes, in my school holidays, we go camping. I love that. Even in the rain. I think, emotionally, I'm closer to him than I am to both my parents. You see, my mum also has a high-powered job, and she travels a lot. I'm an only child, so I think I'd be lonely without my granddad. I love him. My friends love him too. He's always so interested in what they're doing. He's young at heart, my granddad.
Ellie.
The person I'm closest to in my family is definitely my mum. Everyone loves my mum. She's the kind of person you can talk to about anything. She's very understanding, especially now I have a baby of my own. She's a great help with the baby, George, but doesn't throw too much advice at me, if you know what I mean. At the moment, we spend a lot of time together because I'm not back at work. We go for walks with the baby. We go shopping together. We like the same kind of clothes. She's pretty cool, my mum, not old-fashioned at all. We have our ups and downs, of course. A few years ago, I had a tattoo, a butterfly, done on my shoulder, and she didn't like that at all. She still goes on about it, but most of the time we get on very well indeed.
Nick.
I'm closest to my twin brother, Chris. We're not identical twins, but we have a lot of things in common. We follow the same football team, Arsenal. We like the same sort of music, especially house music, and we mainly have the same friends. but I suppose there are more differences than similarities. Well, I'm into all things history and politics, and Chris loves adventure and travel. Also, our personalities are very different. Well, I'm like my mum, calm and easygoing. Chris, he's like my dad. He can be moody and bad-tempered. With those two, Dad and Chris, often fight like cat and dog. I'm the referee. It's not a role I like. Chris has just gone travelling in Southeast Asia. He's in South Korea at the moment, in Seoul. I miss him a lot. I think as twins we're closer than most brothers and sisters. We're different. But I trust him like I trust no one else, even my mum.
1.10 Making the right noises. Pleasure.
How fantastic! That's great. Congratulations! Good for you. Lovely. Brilliant.
Agreement.
Absolutely. Of course. Fine. Definitely. Fair enough. Okay.
Surprise.
That's amazing! You're kidding! You did what? You didn't. Really? Did you?
Sympathy.
That's a shame. That's too bad. How awful! Oh dear. Bad luck. What a pity.
1.11 Making the right noises.
My grandfather hasn't been too well lately.
Oh dear.
He's 79, but he's always on the go. Don't you think at his age he should slow down a bit?
Absolutely.
But he won't listen to me. He says he wants to enjoy his life to the full.
Fair enough.
Last summer, he went on a 2-week cycling holiday in France.
Oh, you're kidding.
We're going to give him a big party for his 80th birthday.
Well, that's great.
But before that, I'm going to have a word with him and tell him to take things easy.
Good for you.
1.12 1.
I just had a weekend in Paris with my boyfriend.
Did you? How fantastic.
2.
Will spaghetti bolognese be okay for dinner?
Of course, that's great.
3.
My flight was cancelled because of a pilot's strike.
Oh dear, that's a shame.
4.
I failed my driving test again.
You didn't. That's too bad.
5.
We're expecting a baby.
Really? Congratulations!
6.
So, you think I should get a new job?
Definitely. You've never been happy with your boss.
7.
I told him I never wanted to see him again.
You're kidding! What a pity.
1.13 1.
I just had a weekend in Paris with my boyfriend.
Did you? How fantastic. What was the weather like?
2.
Will spaghetti bolognese be okay for dinner?
Of course, that's great. It's one of my favourites.
3.
My flight was cancelled because of a pilot's strike.
Oh dear, that's a shame. Will you get your money back?
4.
I failed my driving test again.
You didn't. That's too bad. Better luck next time.
5.
We're expecting a baby.
Really? Congratulations! When is it due?
6.
So, you think I should get a new job?
Definitely. You've never been happy with your boss. It's time to move on.
7.
I told him I never wanted to see him again.
You're kidding! What a pity. I always thought the two of you were so good together.